What is it, Jada? I'm doing something. Okay. Hi, everyone. So I'm joining a little late. I apologize. But every Thursday in the month of June and July, we've been doing a series at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on reclaiming God's best for our life. This is the revival. This is the revival for particularly for the body of believers in Jesus Christ. This is for the women believers specifically. And so we've talked about relationships. We've talked about hard resets. We've talked about being ready. We've just talked about everything you can imagine since June. So if you're just joining, go and check those videos out. Thank you to everyone that's liking, watching, and subscribing and sharing. I'm Rose Watson, and for the past 7 or so years, I've been using YouTube as a platform to share how relentless God has been in me knowing more about himself and knowing more about myself so that I could do what I was designed and created to do. And so on that journey, it got a little bit overwhelming. And so I just started vlogging essentially. And over the course of time, I moved into launching a consultant and coaching practice. And one of the things that I found, especially for believers, hey, Bobby, what's up? So, one of the things that I found, especially for believers, we're zapped. We don't have a lot of energy. We're unfulfilled. We're sad. We're broken. We are sometimes hopeless. And so, and I'm reaching out as a coach, trying to get people excited about investing in their own ideas and making the income and impact that they want in their lives. And I'm recognizing that folks ain't ready for that. And so I want us to get back to reclaiming what's best, and what's best for us is what God designs for us. Because in Jeremiah 29:11, he says, he has good plans for us, plans that he created for us that were good for us and to bring us prosperity and hope and a planned future. So this is the series. Like I said, go back from June if you like to check out the revival series. But this is our reclaiming what's best for our lives. And so this week, I want us to reclaim rest. And so and I want us to maybe look at it in a way to where we don't think about rest the way the world does. I've heard several clients say, like, I'll rest when I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead. No, baby, I'm finna take a nap. It's 12:15 and I'm about to take a nap right now. Right. So I want believers to be okay with rest. I want us to reclaim rest. Rest was given to us by God, and we have just freely giving it back to the world. We're like, no, I don't want it. I'll work 70 hours a week. I'll work 3 jobs. I'll be on social media all day. I'll watch a Netflix series that has 200 episodes in 18 hours. Like, we have just freely refused the rest that God designed for us. Okay. So rest, I want you to know, sometimes can look like death. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to actually look at Jesus Christ on Jesus Christ on the cross this week. And we know that's found in Matthew, and it's also in the other gospels, but we're going to look at Matthew 27, and it talks about the events of when Jesus was on the cross. And I want us to know as believers that rest can sometimes look like the death of something. Folks can think that you're dead and that you're out for the count, and like they literally put Jesus in a grave. But Jesus's tomb stint didn't last, right? He got up after 3 days and he was so well rested that he even folded up his grave clothes, right? And so what does that mean when Bible tells us in Psalms 121, 2 and 4, that this is the God that neither sleeps nor slumbers? So why on earth would Jesus have rested? Um, and I believe it's for the same exact reason God instituted the Sabbath, a day of rest. It was God's infinite wisdom presenting to us what we need. And so think of it in this way, the same way he presented a wife to Adam. Adam wasn't no part of that discussion. God just looked down in his infinite wisdom and said, it is not good for man to be alone. And then he put Adam to sleep, rest. He put Adam to sleep and then presented to him um, Eve. And so think about that in your own life. God is looking down because he knows what's in your future. And he says, it's not good that you're not resting. It's not good that you are not ceasing from your work. It's not good that you are just a busybody going on nonstop, because I know what's ahead for you. And so I'm going to put you to sleep. That may look like a layoff. That may look like getting terminated. That may look like a relationship ending. I'm going to put it to sleep. That may look like your business not being successful in your terms, not getting clients, because God wants you to rest, right? In God's infinite wisdom, he's presenting an opportunity for you to rest. Why? Because when you wake up, I'm going to present you something that is for your good, right? Adam woke up and he was like, yeah, that's for me. Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, like that's mine, right? So when you wake up, whatever needs to go to sleep in your life, trust God and his infinite wisdom that he knows rest is best, because when you wake up, the thing that will cause multiplication in your life is going to be presented to you, right? So um, I just want us to think about rest differently. The same with the Sabbath. God doesn't sleep or slumber. So why on the seventh day did he rest? It's a present to us. It's just a present to us because he knows what we need. And so I invite you to be like Adam, enjoy your rest, and get ready for when you wake up to be presented with something that's going to allow you to have the multiplication that you need in your life, the companionship that you need in your life, that's going to have the connections that you need in your life. And but you can't do that, right? God couldn't get to the ascension back to his Father in heaven without death, without rest, without sleeping in a tomb. So Christ is inviting you, come all to me who are heavy burdened, and I will give you rest. Rest for your weary soul, because he knows what's waiting for you on the other side of this is going to require you to have your energy. Okay? It's going to require you to have a peace. It's going to require you to be okay with releasing things. It's going to require you to be ready, and you need energy to be ready, right? So I want you all to think about this week. What are things that need to be put to rest? Gluttony. What are things that need to be put to rest? All that cursing. What are things that need to be put to rest? Lying, envy, bitterness, right? Some of us struggle with bitterness. Like, I don't like my baby daddy. Girl, what happened? 15 years ago. 15 years? the baby, the baby is 40 now. And you talking about something 15 years ago. So, what needs to be put to rest in your life so that when God revives you, because this is a revival for the believers, you don't get AED CPR if your heart is working right, right? If your blood is pumping right, if you're alert, they don't do CPR and do the AED shocks unless you're not alert. So God is inviting believers to get revived, to get life back into you again. Um, and that's going to require being okay with some things going to sleep. Okay? All right. God bless you. I love you, but God absolutely loves you more. Join me here next week, and we're going to talk about the prerequisites, because I've been talking to you for several weeks about how to get your revival, but there is a prerequisite before you can enjoy rest, before you can enjoy healthy relationships, especially a healthy relationship with God, our Father, through Jesus Christ. It's some prerequisites. So I'm giving you all the things to review, but there are some prerequisites that we're going to have to talk about the last 2 Thursdays in July. So I will see you next Thursday, 6:30 CST Standard Time. If this has been helpful, please like, share, or subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who is very busy and thinks that anytime something is dormant in their life, that something's died, and they just go into this despair, I want you to share this with them to hopefully give them a new lens to look through when thinking about rest and when things look like death. But I'm telling you, Jesus didn't stay dead. He got up out of that grave, and he's sitting on the right hand of our Father in heaven. So the rest is just one way to get to where God is taking you. Sometimes we think is elevation, is fancy, it's lucrative, is sexy, right? It's Instagram worthy. But sometimes your next elevation comes after you go to sleep. All right. So your homework this week, what are the things that you need to put to rest? God bless you.